Hi, this is Phil Samuel with WeGetMarketingResults.com. We work with businesses to help them get more leads, more phone calls, and in the case of brick and mortar businesses, we help them get more local walk-ins. And regardless of what type of business it is, our objective is always the same. We want to help these businesses get more customers, help boost their bank accounts, and based on the feedback we've gotten from a lot of business owners, they want to get more out of life. So we always want to keep this in mind whenever we're helping a business out. Today, we're going to be working with Accredited Merchant Capital to help them get more leads from their website, basically driving traffic to the websites and then do lead generation from there. But before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and share some disclaimers. Number one, I'm not a professional actor, so I don't have the whole oratory things together. And then this is totally unscripted. And then the second disclaimer is that I'm going to do everything I can to make sure we don't have any background noises or anything like that. So hopefully we shouldn't have any phone calls or anything like that. And the third is that these are going to be three short videos. We'll go over the lay of the land, basically the marketing plan, and then the other videos will focus on how we plan to execute using some tools and some of the research that we do. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, we're calling this the GoEvo Lead Generation Project, and primarily it's GoEvo because, from what I understand, GoEvo owns Accredited Merchant Capital. And what we want to do again is drive traffic to their website. Typically, when we're doing a project like this, we always recommend having at least two landing pages. Today, they're actually called mini sites. Primarily because Google wants you to have your terms and conditions, disclosure statements, your privacy statements, and things like that on that site. So basically, the mini site replaces the landing page. It has almost all the elements of a full-scale site, but it's just not a full-scale site. So we always want to have at least 2 to 3 mini sites at the same time. Why? Because we want to use one of them as a control site. Okay, this is our control site, and these act as our test sites. If your budget doesn't allow it, then we don't have to do the third site. But this is at the minimum. We must have a test site and a control site. Two reasons. Oh, here's another thing we always have to have today is a companion mobile site. Basically, it's a mobile compatible site of these two. Primarily, one, you get better quality score from Google. Number two, more and more people are doing searches from their iPads, iPods, their Android devices, their Blackberries, and things like that. So you want to take advantage of that traffic. You definitely want to take advantage of that traffic. And from what research shows, by the end of 2013, there'll be more mobile searches than actually regular desktop or laptop searches. So we definitely want to take advantage of that. So how do we get traffic to this site? Let's look at our traffic sources. Typically, the fastest way to get traffic is from PPC. There's also media buys and, of course, SEO. Now, let's dive into the PPC. Where are we going to get traffic from using PPC? Ad Center, which is basically a partnership of Microsoft and Yahoo came together, and basically they use Ad Center as the advertising platform. And Facebook, we know that they've got 1 billion people, and it's actually easier to target our demographics using Facebook. I'll come back to Google. Secondary search engines. Now, we've got about 3 or 4 of them out of, about 1,500 search engines out there. About 3 or 4 of them that are consistent and giving good quality traffic. Maybe not that much, but they're usually pretty good. And so we want to take advantage of that platform also. Now let's go to the big G, Google. How do we plan to do it with Google? Text ads, banner ads, and of course their mobile search platform. I talked a little bit about that earlier, and there's a lot of traffic here that a lot of people are ignoring. So we want to dive in here and and traffic is actually cheaper here. So we want to take advantage of that. I'm going to dive later into how we really leverage some of our research to make sure that we get the most from our ads. All right, the other traffic source we talked about is actually media buys. Now, this is if you want to get traffic from your CNN, your FoxNews.com, Huffington Post, basically the big sites. They've got tons and tons of traffic, and you want to take advantage of that. I mean, there's a total big rush to your site if you want to participate in media buys. We're doing that for a couple of clients. They're doing pretty well, and if your budget allows it, then we can dive into that. That's another thing we're pretty good at. Now let's look at SEO. Now with SEO, we basically focus on services like things like articles, bookmarkings, review sites, RSSs, social media, and videos. Now, when I say videos, it's not just YouTube, but YouTube is the biggest one we like to focus on. Why? Google owns YouTube, and there's Google actually is the first, of course, the most visited website. And today, YouTube is the second. That's a lot of traffic that we want to take advantage of. So I'll show you a little bit of how we do it and how we can get you up in the search ranks. Now let's look at what happens when a customer gets to the site or a prospect gets to the site. Now, when they get to this mini site, one of two things happens, or at least we want them to take one of our to call to action objects. We want them to jump on one of our call to action objects. Actually, today there's another one that works pretty well, and that's oh gosh, sorry, that's chat. Okay, so when they get to the site, they do one of three things. One, a direct phone call. Two, chat, or fill out a form. Chat actually helps with conversions. So, someone comes there looking for money. They may have two or three questions. They don't want to fill out a form, so they just want to chat with someone. So we want to install, a chat object there. So that again helps with conversions. But most times people want to do one of these two, either fill out a form or pick up the phone and call. Let's dive into if they go ahead and fill out a form. Now the reason why we said three entries is because let me go ahead and show you what's currently happening. Today, Accredited has all these forms here, these entries here, name, company, all this stuff, how long you've been in business, how many credit cards, or do you accept credit cards, and things like that. It is important to know, but really, people don't want to go through all of that initially. What we want to have them do is just fill out something really simple. That way we can capture information so we can continue talking to them. The most important thing and most important question we want to answer is how much money do they want? That's why they're there. That's the most important thing they're there for. They want to know, are you going to give me money? So the question we ask is, how much money do you want? That's like big right there. The second thing we want to go ahead and ask them is, say, their email address. Okay, and that way we can communicate with them. And the third thing, maybe just a first name. We don't want them to feel like they're committed to it. So we want to just kind of keep what we ask for at the bare minimum. Okay, that way we get them into the whole cycle. And now I'm going to go ahead and stop this video here and then dive into what happens next.